Let's talk about your Nikon in-body image stabilization, IBIS. There's a lot of settings from your Nikon. It's got one of the best image stabilization. It's getting to a point where one day you're not going to need a gimbal for smooth shots. Already our iPhones do amazing job getting stable shots, just handheld, moving around, and one day our camera's gonna get there for sure. I used to love my lens that had VR built into it. We all did, right? Your lens had a image stabilization built right into the lens, making it a little bit more expensive. Now, when this new $2,500 lens came out from Nikon, 24-70 f2.8, including their 70-200, it didn't have VR built into it. And I thought to myself, that's kind of crazy. How am I gonna get a lens without no VR? I was totally wrong. Our Nikon Z camera has a built-in VR that works well with your Nikon Z cameras that doesn't have VR. Even other lenses that don't have VR built into it, the body itself does an amazing job. So you can actually go into the I menu, vibration reduction. That's where you could turn it on and off, and there's a sport mode in case you need to use your hand to just get a steady shot walking forward and so on. So that actually does a pretty decent job as well too. Now, once a lens like this is installed where it has a built-in VR, that is grayed out. And you will then use the lens to turn on VR or turn off VR. There's different IBIS mode that I want to share with you guys and when to use it. So first off, go into the I menu and then you could go to vibration reduction. You turn on VR and your lenses that don't have VR is now very stable. Now, if you use a VR lens like this, my F-mount VR lens with the adapter, then that VR gets grayed out and now you have to use your lens to turn on VR and turn it off. So now you cannot use the in-body stabilization if you have a lens VR lens. You have to use the VR that's built into the lens, which isn't bad also, it's still good. On the left side of that vibration reduction, there is electronic VR. Now this is cool. Now you have to know when to use it. This electronic VR is tripod mode. It just locks in your shot as best as it can and keeps it from shaking. When I have a lens like this, 20-70 in my camera, and I could handhold it at 200 meters and it will just lock and stay put. As long as I'm kind of steady, I'm locked in a little bit, so I'm not shaking around like crazy, it'll do an amazing job just looking like it's a tripod shot, even though the zoom is all the way at 200. So that's what it's meant for. Now, if you accidentally have that on and you move around, you put on a gimbal or you just use it as a regular video and you do like a small movement, it's gonna mess up your video. You're gonna see some weird warping because it's trying its best to just keep it still. So remember to turn that off if you don't want that tripod mode. When you're on a gimbal, you definitely want to have the VR on as a regular mode and not the sport mode. The sport mode is really good for if you're gonna move it with your hands walking or side to side and things like that. All right, just real quick guys, I do have t-shirts for sale. I've made for photographers and videographers. I got the link below. It's a very nice material. It fits nicely. And if you do support me, I appreciate you so very much. I can keep doing this. I love sharing everything that I can about photography and video. And selling this t-shirt is one of the ways for me to just keep doing what I love. Thank you so much for your support. So thank you so much for watching it all the way through. And I will see you next time.